Sometime in the year 2001 or 2002, I read a book by Dinar Kunz where he described how an evil doctor injected someone with an air bubble and the person died. In that book, the term that was used was called embolism. That's the situation in which air gets into the bloodstream and someone gets a stroke or a heart attack or something like that. So you can imagine my shock one day when I went into my grandparents' house and I saw one of my aunts brushing her teeth outside the house. She had this intravenous bag for the drip and it was attached to her arm. And lo and behold, I saw that there was an air bubble like this big and it was inching ever so slowly into her bloodstream. I froze in shock because I said to myself, this thing is going to kill this woman. Remember, this was not in the hospital. This was in the house. No nurses, no doctors. As I stood there, my mind was racing. What was I going to do? And then suddenly I decided, walked over to her, pulled out the IV line, and I allowed the water and the air to come out. And I put it back, and everything was fine. Or not fine, because while I was doing that, she became hysterical. Leke, Ovepamini, you want to kill me? What are you doing? I said, wait, auntie. She didn't want to hear anything. She just started insulting and scolding me. And I was like, no, wait, auntie, this is why she didn't want to listen to anything. I was feeling very bad. And after that, I left her and I walked away. So after a while, I went to the hospital that was next door to the house, and I spoke to one of the nurses. I asked her, Madam, what really happens when air gets into the bloodstream? And the lady was like, well, air in the body is good for you, but it's good. So I was like, really? Do you have a medical dictionary? She gave it to me. And I checked the term embolism, only to discover that it was exactly what I thought it was. So I showed it to her. And unfortunately, the lady was ignorant. She was like, she didn't know. So see that? So I said, please borrow me this dictionary. I took it to my house and I showed it to my aunt. She immediately became apologetic. Oh, I didn't know, Leke, sorry. I gave her a look like, I just saved your life, baby. And I left and I took the dictionary back to the hospital. That story is an example of how ignorance destroys lives all over the world. Welcome to the Republic of Presidents, everyone. This is Leke Olatere Olagbegi. Today, I want to share with you how to avoid negative consequences of our ignorance. Now, before you tell me that you're not ignorant, remember, nobody knows everything. This means that in the area where you are not knowledgeable, you are actually ignorant. So the issue then is not about our ignorance, because if I was not ignorant, I'd be as rich as Aliko Dangote, I'd be as rich as Bill Gates. But clearly I'm ignorant about one or two things, and that's why I'm not that rich. So the issue then is not about our ignorance, but the degree to which our ignorance allows us to have a quality life or not. For example, a medical doctor may not have any knowledge about accounting, and he'll be fine. But that same doctor, if he has no knowledge about personal financial planning, certainly he will struggle financially. In the same way, there are very many successful people who are unable to raise well-behaved children. This is because that is the area of their ignorance which they have not been able to fix. So what then do we need to do about it? The good thing about it is all of us have our strengths and our weaknesses. There are people around the world who are not ignorant in the area that I am ignorant about, and vice versa. So all we need to do is to get books, find knowledge about the areas where we are ignorant. People are destroyed by ignorance, but they do not know it. Every once in a while I think to myself, about criminals, how much time, how much brilliance goes into the planning, the execution of their operations, the planning to avoid the police, to avoid this and that. And I'm thinking to myself, if these guys are so brilliant, and many of them are, why don't they live a proper life without crime? The other day I was on Google searching for something, and I typed something like, how to become, and I paused to think, and as I did that, I saw how to become a Yahoo boy as one of the suggested searches. You know how Google gives you all those suggested searches. I saw how to become a Yahoo boy, and I'm like, really? Does that really happen? You mean young people actually go online and search for how to become Yahoo boys? For those of you who don't know, in Nigeria, Yahoo boys are cyber criminals. So young people actually go out there and that's what they're searching for. Don't they know they can as well search how to become a professional footballer, volleyballer, or lawyer, or what have you? The truth is that they are that ignorant, exposing themselves to a life of crime because they have not been taught any differently. Which leads me to the next point. Ignorance is generational and transferable. The reason why these young people will go online and be searching for stuff like that is because they have not been taught by their parents. Think about it. If their parents knew any better, they probably would have taught them better. But unfortunately, ignorance is transferable. The knowledge you have today is what you will transfer to your children. So I'm sorry to say, if you don't know much, what you know is what you will transfer to your children, and what they know is what they will transfer to their children, and the cycle will continue. This is why you have the term generational poverty. When people continue to make the same poor choices for generations, keeping them in the same vicious cycle of a poor life and poverty. It reminds me of what the late Miles Monroe said. He said ignorance is personal, but it's not private. Because while the ignorance is personal to you because it resides in your head, but the choices you make are not about you. Those choices of yours are not personal to you. They will affect the choice of your marriage, the choice of your children's lives, their education, how you raise them, and so on and so forth, how they raise their own children. So ignorance is a serious issue, my people. So if your own issue is that you need to find a way to improve your means of income, why don't you try to go ahead and find a book that shows you how to fix that area of your ignorance? For some people, it's in the area of their health, while for some of you, it may be about your marriage or raising your children. Some people will say, no, let me pray about it. Yeah, prayer is good. I believe in prayer. But listen to me. Prayer will not fix for you what knowledge will fix. If you allow ignorance to remain in your life, it will rule you into the ground. The way to get rid and avoid the negative consequences of our ignorance is to introduce knowledge to fix that area of our life. Some of us, we reject knowledge, unfortunately. How do you reject knowledge? You reject knowledge when you have an area of your life that needs fixing, but you choose not to buy books in that area. Or you have the choice to buy a book, but you decide to buy a shirt or a tie or a nice suit or blazers instead. You decide to buy shawarma and go clubbing instead, rather than fixing the area of your ignorance. For some of you, you may buy the books, but you don't read them. You just stack them up right there. This is the reason why many of us live very low quality and unprofitable lives, because we do not seek knowledge. Knowledge is powerful, guys. Ignorance is also powerful. We need to reach a decision today to choose which one we want to go after. Allow ignorance to use you, to lead you, or get the knowledge that you need to turn your life around forever. It's your choice, guys. This is the word for today. Thank you for being part of a Republic of Presidents today. If you like this video and the other ones that we put out, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with friends and family. And until we come your way again, keep thinking and acting like a president. God bless you, and God bless our world.